Tokyo, my dear friends. This is Daisuke, and it's nice to see you. I'm sorry I've been a little bit out. This has been a very busy past couple of weeks or so, and so I've been actually bogged down with a lot of other matters which have prevented me from uploading more videos than I'd like. Well, it's been very difficult to upload videos, so I really apologize for that. So hopefully things will be a little bit calmer now, and with that I'll be able to focus more on more videos. But in the meantime, let me just touch base with you and just to say hello. And my dear friends, I hope things are well for you. I was very fortunate, for example, yesterday, in fact, I got these new Criterion Blu-rays in the mail, and they are the new Blu-ray of The Magic Flute. So this is very exciting. Of course, this is in the Ingmar Bergman box set, and it's a really nice. It's a really nice film, and I think the Ingmar Bergman cinema disc of The Magic Flute is in fact the same in terms of video quality and content as this new Blu-ray. So if you have the box set, you probably don't need this in order to be complete, although I think that's the case. And if you don't have the box set, then it might be worth your while to get this Blu-ray. But in any event, The Magic Flute is a fantastic film anyway. And then we have Spy Number 964, which is The Kid Brother. Very nice indeed. And then 965, this is a big one. This is a very big one. Wanda. Barbara Loden, Wanda. Now I have this actually on a DVD from France, somewhere up here on the shelves. And so it was a fairly okay quality DVD, but the reason why I got it was because it was a very famous film, and I had never seen it before until I got that DVD a couple years back. When I did see it, it was like a revelation in many ways, very gritty and quite forceful in its voice and its focus. So I was so over the moon when I first heard Criterion was going to release this, and now that I have it, it's very, how should I put it, chills. I'm getting chills now just thinking about this film. And so if you haven't seen the film, I would strongly recommend that you at least consider getting Wanda, because it is a true American masterpiece that is in need of discovery and rediscovery. But anyway, Wanda, hopefully with Criterion that will happen, and many discussions will follow. And then there is this film, Detour. This is the classic film noir, Detour. I remember being so happy when I was able to watch this for the first time on a pretty banged up VHS tape that was in the library of the film and video archive of my college back when I was a student at university. Because until then, I had never been able to get my hands on it. And this was back in the days of VHS. DVDs were just a year or so away from that time. So it was a real thrill for me to be able to get that VHS tape and put it in and watch this film. It's kind of grainy, a little bit scary, in fact, but it had a wonderfully charming B-quality nature to it. But it was a fierce, ferocious film. So that's Detour. And to be perfectly honest, I remember just devouring it during that time. But upon graduation, I was never, for whatever reason, I never felt like trying to track it down. And so I'd never had it in my collection until now. So here it is after however many years, since I was about almost 20 years perhaps. So this will be a great time to watch this film again for me, Detour. So those are the Criterion goodies that I got in the mail, so I'm very fortunate to have been able to get those. Then, of course, we had the very recent sad news about the passing of the great Agnes Varda, the filmmaker. Very sad and quite upsetting, because she was such a voice, a very strong and powerfully independent voice in cinema, and such a wide-ranging career. So it was very sad to read, but I hope that, at least for those of you, right, who are familiar with the Criterion Collection, you'll probably know of Varda's work very well. And for those of you who are not familiar with the works of Agnes Varda, then I would strongly suggest that perhaps now might be a nice opportunity to visit her work and to see why she was such an exciting voice. There are a number of films by her currently in the Criterion Collection. There's a great Eclipse set, for example. I would say, though, that if one is looking for a way to become introduced to the works of Varda, if you're so inclined, then I would dare say that you should at least consider trying to find this particular box set. This is a DVD set, and the DVD set is itself spine number 418. These are called 4 films by Agnes Varda. So there is the film La Pointe Courte and Cléo from 5 to 7, and Le Bonheur and Vagabond. So you have 4 films, and La Pointe Courte is from 1954, Cléo from 5 to 7 is 1961, Le Bonheur is from 64, and Vagabond is 1985, yes. So these, I think, are all uniquely driven works, and if you are looking for an entry point, if you like, a way to become introduced to the works of Varda, this is perhaps one of the best places to go. This is perhaps one of the best places to go for that, because all of these films are just wow. So you will not be disappointed, I promise you. This is DVD, and as far as I know, as it's now March 31st, 2019. So as of now, this set is only available in DVD format. So who knows? Maybe with the launch of the Criterion channel, the streaming service from Criterion, perhaps more of her works will become available. Of course, there is the great Eclipse set as well. But fortunately, for those of us who are, let's say, Blu-ray only Criterion collectors, that might mean that getting this box set might not necessarily be an option. And I know how that works, because sometimes you have DVD only titles that later, subsequently, become upgraded to Blu-ray. So some might think that it might be just worth waiting for the hopes that the films that are DVD only will one day become upgraded to Blu. And I totally get that. I understand that, because buying box sets from Criterion is not always the cheapest thing. One needs, if one wants to save money, and I'm definitely included in that group, one has to wait for a sale, or find it at a cheap price, or maybe find it even used at an even cheaper price. So I understand all those considerations and concerns. And to get a DVD set, that's pretty expensive, and then maybe a couple months later to see the films become released on Blue, that might be a little bit of a shock. So I understand if one might be a little bit hesitant to get these films on DVD. However, even despite that, I think it's worth trying to track down these films, whether they're in this box set format or in some other format. As I said, the Criterion Channel, the streaming service, is about to launch soon, and so perhaps these films will be available through streaming or through other means. And so hopefully you'll be able to watch these films and not necessarily feel like you're maybe overspending or anything like that. But I would still say that if you do get this on DVD, you will not be disappointed at all in terms of the quality and the contents of the films themselves, because they are all, as I said, just unforgettable works in their own unique way, respectively speaking. So if you do decide to get this, I know you will not be disappointed. I know you won't be disappointed. So again, just for your consideration, and especially given the recent sad news, I would strongly suggest, if you are looking for a way into Varda's works, I would suggest thinking about getting the set and yeah, going from there. So anyway, there's 4 by Agnes Varda. And I also want to let you know that I am still going through my Japanese cinema kick, so the Japanese cinema from the 1960s and 70s, and some from the 80s as well. So among those films that I've been revisiting, for example, I've been going through this, which is the Taisho trilogy, Seijun Suzuki films. I don't even know what words I can use to describe these films, because they are just I'm at a loss for words. They are quite uniquely captivating in a zany and off-the-wall and uniquely Suzuki-esque way. Just I don't even know if dreamlike is an appropriate term, because I don't think dreams might do the film's justice. I think they are more labyrinthine and more ephemeral than any kind of dream. And dreams, I know, are quite ephemeral. They have the possibility of being so, but this has such a delicate, hazy quality to them. So anyway, the Taisho trilogy. One of these days, I promise I will speak about these films in detail. But these are just some of the films I've been exploring lately. Also, I was able to get my hands on this DVD. It's not out of print, but it's a film that I had always wanted to watch, but for whatever reason, it just never crossed my path, and so I'd never been able to see it. You know, there are some films like that where one knows of them and they're fairly famous, but you don't get to watch them until later on in life, or much later on in life. And so this was one for me that I was always looking for, but or I'd heard about, but I was never able to see until very recently, which was actually about a week or so ago, actually. And it was this film, Kanawa, or the English title, as it's probably best known, is The Iron Crown. The Iron Crown. So Kanawa, The Iron Crown. And this is a film from 1972, directed by Kaneto Shindo. Again, Kaneto Shindo. So Kaneto Shindo is a Japanese director, and for those of us who are Criterion fans, you'll probably know Shindo's work. The films Kuroneko and Onibaba and The Naked Island, I think, are the films by Shindo that are in the collection in terms of individual releases. I think also he has another film, which is kind of a documentary about Mizoguchi. And the documentary is actually a special feature here. It's called Kenji Mizoguchi, The Life of a Film Director. The documentary is directed by Shindo, and it's from 1975. So if you're interested in watching a documentary work by Shindo, you can just grab the Ugetsu Blu-ray and watch the features. It's one of many great features on this Blu-ray, by the way. Shindo's career is quite expansive and very unique and quite, how should I describe it? He's a very unique filmmaker, a very unique filmmaker. So again, I'd love to talk about his works, at least as they appear in the Criterion Collection one of these days. But for now, let me just tell you that I did get this. Now, this is a Japanese DVD, and I'm not sure as to its availability outside of Japan. I'm sure there are ways to watch this film with English language support and all that. So if you're interested, please take a look. This is a how should I put it? It's a mix of many different eclectic tones. There's some Japanese no theater. There is a horror film element to it. There is a kind of a love triangle element to it. There is a stage theater element to it. There is a bit of a comedy element to it. There is also a softcore erotica element to it. It has a lot of sex scenes and nudity scenes. And there is also a bizarre, almost surreal-like quality to it as well. It's all this mix of many different tones brought together in a way that is, I think, quite ingenious and very disturbing in many ways. So this is from 1972, and it's a one-of-a-kind experience in more ways than one, I should say. Kanawa. And again, this is a Japanese DVD, so I'm not sure as to its availability outside the US, or outside of Japan, I should say. But if you are interested in exploring some of the works of Shindo, then I would suggest that you look, for instance, at Kuroneko or Onibaba or The Naked Island. And if you, well, I don't want to say too much about those because hopefully I can talk about those individually at a later date. But let me just say that they are each, in their own way, very unforgettably unique. So you, I think, would be in for a real treat and surprise if you were to watch some of those films. Some of them are quite scary, actually, but if you're okay with that, then Shindo might be a place to go. And of course, as I said, there is his great documentary on Mizoguchi, which is here in the Ugetsu supplements. So anyway, this is what I've been watching of late, and so I've been trying to go through these films from this period, which is a very, as I said in another video, a very exciting, interesting period of Japanese cinema, in this case the 1970s or early 1970s. So as I said, I'm still trying to put my notes together. Hopefully I can talk about those in a number of videos, something akin to the video series that I did for Ingmar Bergman's box set or something like that. So I think talking about those films would be something that would be very useful and perhaps even a little bit cathartic for me. So I look forward to that if I'm able to put that together. Fingers crossed about that. So anyway, that's what I've been doing. So let me end it there, and let me say that I hope all of you are doing well. And please, if you have the time, I'd love to hear what it is you've been up to over the past few days or weeks, Have you seen anything new? Have you watched any new films in the theater? If you have, please let me know. I'd love to hear about it. I know a lot of new films are being released lately, and so I don't usually go out to the movie theaters, and so therefore I have to live vicariously through your experiences. So that means that if you want to leave a comment or question below about anything that you've seen recently, I'd love to hear about it, and maybe we can have a nice conversation. And other than that, my friends, I hope you're doing well, and please keep on watching a lot of great movies. Until we meet again, cheers.